மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா குறை ஒன்றுமில்லை கண்ணா குறை ஒன்றுமில்லை கோவிந்தா. கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா, கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நின்றாலும் எனக்கு குறையொன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. வேண்டியதை தந்திட வெங்கடேசன் என்றிருக்க வேண்டியது வேறில்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா வடிவண்ணா. स्थिस्त्वं गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि
तुषाराद्रिसङ्काशगौरं गभीरं मनोभूतकोटिप्रभासी शरीरं स्फुरन्मौलिकल्लोलिनीं चारुगङ्गा लसद्भालबालेन्दुकण्ठे भुजङ्गा चलत्कुण्डलं शुभ्रनेत्रं विशालं प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालुं मृगाधीशचर्माम्बरमुण्डमालं प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि।
கண்ணா உரை ஒன்றுமில்லை கோவிந்தா. கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் இருக்கின்றாய் கண்ணா, கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நின்றாலும் எனக்கு குறையொன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. வேண்டியதை தந்திட வெங்கடேசன் என்றிருக்க வேண்டியது வேறில்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. மணிவண்ணா மலையப்பா கோவிந்தா கோவிந்தா. திரையின் பின் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா, கண்ணா திரையின் பின் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா. உன்னை மறையோதும் ஞானியர் மட்டுமே காண்பார். திரையின் பின் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா, உன்னை மறையோதும் ஞானியர் மட்டுமே காண்பார். என்றாலும் குறை ஒன்றும் எனக்கில்லை கண்ணா, என்றாலும் குறை ஒன்றும் எனக்கில்லை கண்ணா. குன்றின் மேல் கல்லாகி நிற்கின்ற வரதா, குன்றின் மேல் கல்லாகி நிற்கின்ற வரதா. குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா, குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. மணிவண்ணா மலையப்பா கோவிந்தா கோவிந்தா.
The truth is one. The wise perceive it in many ways. Cosmic reality is one. Every perception of reality is wise. All perceptions of the one reality are wise. So why conflict at all?
Ekam sahib vibrahai bahuta vaganti. Ekam sahib vibrahai bahuta vaganti. Ekam sahib vibrahai bahuta vaganti. Ekam sahib vibrahai bahuta vaganti.
Namaste everyone. Welcome to the global limitless field. with Sri Krishnaji. I'm Purnima. I'm a disciple of Sri Preethaji and Sri Krishnaji. Right now, we are connecting with you from the divine field of Ekam Kshetra in India. In a few moments from now, we will be in the presence of Sri Krishnaji, listening to today's wisdom, and Sri Krishnaji will be leading us on a journey into greater health and vitality. We will be receiving immense blessings for entering this new year with greater immune strength, vitality, and health. But before we embark on that journey, we want you to listen to a wonderful sharing from one of the members of the Ekam community from the United States. Sri Preethaji travels around the world and leads people into the field of awakening journeys. It's a very powerful journey in consciousness where you become liberated from the imprisonment of your mind. You go beyond your mind. You go beyond your limited sense of self and move into a state of awakening, which awakening thereafter manifests in your life. You become an awakened parent, an awakened wealth creator, the awakened leader. This field of awakening happens in India under the name Bodhi. So if you're all ready, let us now listen to this sharing.
Namaste. This is Juan Carlos Angel. This is my wife.
Namaste, Alejandra.
So, through the years, we have been working with the Academy, and we have received many gifts in all areas of our lives, with our kids, with our lives, with our relationship, with our parents. And there is one which is what I believe an incredible story in business. And I will let Alejandra tell her story about how she started and grew her practice into what today is an incredible place where they serve women and provide care for patients.
Yes, so like Juan said, in 2017, we started attending, went to a first course here in Miami with Preethaji, and from there we decided to travel to India and do other courses where we, started our journey into this spiritual vision. I felt like after the first course in India and then at the Field of Abundance here in the US, something internally shifted. I was part of a medical practice group, moderate size, with few providers, and I was doing what I was trained to do and learned to do, which was take care of my patients. But from the business side of running the practice as a business partner, I had taken more of a passive role and was comfortable like that. But realizing that really inside my real truth was that I was not aligned with a lot of things of how the practice was run. And I did realize that I was in a what I call abusive business relationship. So I felt the need to change this, and my first attempt was to try to discuss it with my partners at that time, and wrote them an email, which I felt was from the heart. And I never got a reply. And a little bit of time went by, and I realized more and more I felt that that change needed to happen. So I made the decision to move forward with creating my own practice. Fortunately, there were a few people aligned with me and that had that same vision. So we, I guess, started entering into this, well, how are we going to do this? It wasn't easy at times, and I had to do a lot of serene mind to face fear and uncertainty. But finally got to a point where instead of fear, I was able to find the courage. And a lot of good things started happening and unfolding, like even to the details of finding a beautiful office space that I had seen in my meditations, in doing soul sync, and in finding a place like I think 90% from what I had in my vision, why, you know, the color, how it was going to look, where it was located, and finding my team to start working with, from a manager to medical assistants to, you know, creating this workplace that we had typed documents just to write and brainstorm about the spiritual vision of the practice. So I used all these tools that I learned with Preethaji and all the teachers from the academy, and I can say that 4 years later we have a very solid practice that I feel like has a purpose, that we can help women throughout their life journey, and we've grown in staff. Just recently we did the Beautiful State course, which I would recommend for any business, small, medium, large. I think it's the best gift you can give your staff for both their personal growth, and as we know, if we are in that beautiful state, we can work as a team in connection. We provide better compassionate care to our patients, and in overall to just have that success of knowing that you're doing something for everybody around you, and filled with joy. Joy and connection.
Definitely, it's an incredible story, and having been on the side, watching all this unfold and how miracles just happen, you know, like what she was saying about the office. I remember she telling me we want this white office that provides a sense of calm, and here we go. She comes back home after going with a realtor, and then, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. We found this office exactly how we thought and how we saw it. It's like, and you start seeing this one after the other one. We need a line of credit. I don't know how to apply. And suddenly, next day, boom, you have the line of credit. You have the capital in place. I remember the first day she told me I saw the first patient and we couldn't even bill because there was nothing in place. It was just a happening one after another one. And today is a practice that can handle 7,000 patients maybe. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible. It's incredible.
Just listening to what Juan is saying, and it brings me also that feeling of gratitude for the support system that we had throughout this, and Juan being like my to-go person to help me with advice when it comes to finance, which I didn't have a lot of experience with, and now I realized all the different purposes that I've had in life. It was just not like my initial dream of becoming a doctor and being in medicine as my profession, but also that all the other things that go along with that for it to work. So yes, that was definitely also key in the success of this story.
If we are ready now, it is time to be in the presence of Sri Krishnaji. So let us joyfully welcome Sri Krishnaji to lead us forward.
Where is Pramod? Namaste. How are you? How are your family members? The new year is just beneath the horizon and will rise in flaming colors soon. Shri Preethaji and I would want every one of you to enter the new year with an abundance of grace, joy, and great health. In times like this, total health is a blessing every one of you must possess. That is why the Limitless Field meditation. This Limitless Field meditation is for the blessing of health and healing for you. In the Limitless Field, you will draw immense divine blessings to protect your body of sickness and disease. You know, the human body is one of the greatest miracles the universe has created on earth. We have today been able to send machines to even touch the surface of the sun, but still not able to figure out why the body needs to sleep for 8 hours a day, which is a quarter of our lives. Science still does not know why thoughts arise in the brain. There is very little that is actually known by science about the mysteries of human body. Let us begin with understanding what is disease and sickness. Disease is the description of a medical diagnosis that a doctor gives you. It is a diagnosis of what caused this particular ill or illness. Health in your body. what pathogens cause this condition in your body. Is it viral or bacterial? Or is it an organ's malfunction? Or any other cause, right? But sickness is not the same. Sickness is the way you are experiencing your physical condition. Two people may have the same disease, but the way they experience it could be very different. In fact, you may have disease-free body and yet feel sick. Sickness is a feeling of unwellness. Sickness is a state of your mind rather than the body. Only when you become free of sickness would any cure have a real impact on your body's disease. Without becoming free of sickness, you will prove the most brilliant doctor to be a failure. I am a philosopher, and from a very early age, I was someone who lived. I was not someone who lived preoccupied with myself. You get stuck in mental preoccupations only when you are someone moving from one suffering state to another. I lived most often very joyful and in connected states. And I have always had vast amounts of time and energy at my disposal. Most of this time and the energy I had, I spent observing people, observing human mind and how it functions. Let me share with you something that happened recently. I was returning home on a flight and I happened to overhear conversations people were having seated around me. Very interesting. You can imagine what everyone was speaking about. Yes, obviously it was Omicron. Everyone was sharing what they've heard and read, in which news article, which website, and which expert has spoken about it. Lot of discussions. But at the end of the long discussion, one thing common happened to every one of them. Everyone got into fear. There was a palpable energy of anxiety in the air. I am sure you too would have done something similar or had a similar experience. I want every one of you to live life free of fear. Live fearlessly. Take the caution you have to take. That's important. Your mind is making a monster out of this virus. The fear seems to have become a bigger problem than the virus itself. Conquer fear. Start living. The way human mind functions is, it always gathers information from various sources and creates a projection that is painful and negative and obsesses over it. That is what those people on my flight were doing, constantly talking about the information and projecting a big negative scenario. That is what you must refuse to do anytime you face a challenge in your life. The foolish, suffering mind has a constant need to project a problem and obsess over it. And inevitably, every obsession only draws you into more and more negativity. Negativity breeds fear, and fear leads you to sickness. So, become aware of this obsession and remember, there will always be something for the mind to obsess about. This obsession can be about health, finances, family situation, work situation, market situation, and even global problems. This nature of the human mind, to project a problem and build obsessions, is what is responsible for your ill health and sickness to a great extent. This obsession triggers a series of stress responses and chemicals in your body and floods your body with stress chemicals that are dangerous to your health and well-being. Your brain soaks in its own toxic waste, constant revisitations to anxiety and stress. This state of suffering pushes you into sickness, and a sick body later on becomes prone to diseases. Do you see the dynamic? So pour your energies into staying in a magnificent state and keep setting yourself free of emotional obsessions. The human body is a magnificent, divine, sacred instrument. There are 72,000 energy currents, nadis, running in the body. When energy flows through these nadis harmoniously, you are healthy. You have vitality. And you are in a magnificent state of consciousness. About this, Shri Preethaji will speak to you in the manifest. That is why spiritual awakening is very important. You have to awaken to greater awareness within yourself and direct your mind towards a greater vision in life. Live with an enlightened state of consciousness. This is a consciousness approach to health and vitality. That is what Shri Preethaji and I will lead you on. There is a greater aspect to the path of consciousness, which will be led by Shri Preethaji in the manifest health, manifest yogic vitality in the month of January 2022, the next month. Yogis are mystics who have had revelations on the nature of human body. Their esoteric wisdom and mystical experiences empower them to go beyond the limitations of disease and ill health. In the mystic process that Sri Preethaji will lead you through, you will connect with the mystical and esoteric aspects of your body. You will awaken the power of body intelligence as a path to healing vigor and longevity. A healthy long life is the most sought after blessing in anyone's life. That is why our ancients blessed Shatamanam Bhavati, meaning may you live 100 years. A long life spent in fighting disease, and the one that is lived in sickness is no living at all. Only when longevity is accompanied by vitality, you live. According to India's ancient health sciences, Ayurveda, health science Ayurveda, every human being is born fundamentally with one of the three predominant nature or prakritis. First is Vata, or the wind energy. If this is your nature, you are physically agile and moving, but gentle of temperament. The second is Pitta, or the fire nature. If this is your nature, then you are moderately agile but decisive. You are aggressive and fiery in nature. The third is fiery in nature. The third is Kapha, or the water nature. If this is your nature, you are physically more sedentic, you are slow and often humorous in nature. In order to have the blessing of longevity along with vitality, the higher dimension of these three natures have to become awakened within your body. Prana, which is the higher nature of Vata. Ojas, which is the higher nature of Pitta. And Tejas, which is the higher nature of Kapha, has to become awakened. These higher dimensions of your body have the potential to fight diseases, to renew and rebuild tissues, and to build strength in your body. They lead you to Swasthya. Sri Preethaji will lead you on a mystic journey that will activate these three powers of your body and give you blessings of healing, vitality, and longevity. This year's Health Manifest will be a process for awakening yogic vitality and experiencing further mysteries of the body. Now let us move forward. Have you been practicing the Ekam health practice regularly? I taught you this practice in the month of April as a yogic way to build immunity and strength. I will lead you once again through that today. Are you all ready? Be seated on the floor, upon a cushion, or on a chair. Whatever is. Be comfortable. That's the most important thing. Feel comfortable. Hold your spine erect. And let's move into the Ekam health practice now. Let us now begin the Parikrama Pranayama. Keep your mouth closed. Breathe only through the nose. Inhale fully into your abdomen and into your lungs, and do strong Ujjayi exhalation or ocean exhalation. Inhale deeply, filling your abdomen and lungs. Exhale a full Ujjayi breath. You may now begin the 42 times cycle of Parikrama Yoga. Inhale deeply, exhale completely, and hold your breath. Listen to Hamsa.
Hamsa, 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 Hamsa. Inhale deeply. Hold your breath. Listen to Hamsa. Hamsa, 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 Hamsa. Relax and breathe normally. Now lie down in Shavasana. You may gently open your eyes. Make sure to do this practice. It will help you tremendously. Today, as you enter the limitless field, you will have immense healing energies flowing from the limitless field and healing you. You may ask for blessings for the diseases in your body to be healed. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Sri Krishnaji. Before we enter the limitless field experience, let us listen to a beautiful sharing from Larry from the United States. Larry is right now participating in the Ekam Enlightenment Festival that is happening in India. He is speaking to you from Ekam campus. Let us listen to him.
Namaste. I'm here to share experiences of the enlightened states that I have been having, and I'm really happy to do so. I am at Ekam now, and my first trip to Ekam was in 2011, and I spent about 5 years experiencing states of joy and bliss and mystical states. In 2016, that shifted into states of witnessing, a very profound shift, and a shift in perception, a shift in the sense of feeling and being. In 2018, those witnessing would come and go. They would come on their own and go. In 2018, I started experiencing enlightened states, and this all started when I sat in a lecture with Krishnaji. He said something that really stuck with me, and I've heard it before, but this really stuck. He said that everything is consciousness. Everything in this room is consciousness. The pillars are consciousness, the chairs are consciousness, you're consciousness. When you eat food, you're experiencing consciousness. And it just stuck with me. It was like there's something there that I need to know. But a couple of days went by, and I was walking in the front garden, and I started moving into a witnessing state. And I was looking at all the worms. Everything just, perception totally changes. And I was looking at all the trees and flowers and all these different forms. And all of a sudden, I remembered Krishnaji's words. They just came by, that everything is consciousness. Everything. So all of a sudden, when that realization hit, I saw myself as a form. just like a blade of grass. That was just one of the forms there. And with that awareness, my consciousness shifted from witnessing into an enlightened state. And what is the difference? In witnessing, the mind has gone, and in its place comes consciousness. And what the self that is there, the self that goes away is the small self that is limited, and this unlimited self is there witnessing everything that I'm seeing, everything that I'm hearing, everything that I'm tasting. It's just witnessing it in freedom and joy. When the shift happened into an enlightened state, that continued. I was witnessing the tree, but what else happened was this sense of self, this consciousness, became aware of its own self in the tree. In other words, it discovered itself. Because consciousness is everywhere, there is only one consciousness, and when that experience of that discovery of self meeting self resulted in a huge explosion of joy and love. And it turns out that it happens with every experience. So if you're looking at a flower, it happens. If you're looking at a dead flower, it happens. Because the joy and the love and the freedom is in the consciousness itself. It's provided by consciousness. So, yes, you see the flower, whether it's dead or alive, that's the form. Consciousness finds itself, and it's awesome, absolutely awesome. They say that I am seeing myself and I'm also in the other. But it's like that. I'm in both places, but the I is not like the little I. That little I happens to disappear. And Krishnaji just said that the little I was a foolish suffering mind in obsession and wallowing in toxic waste. That goes away. This comes into the heart. It's as if a drop of water, which was my old mind and my old self, fell into the ocean, and this just explodes. It's beauty. It's so beautiful. What comes with it is love. Absolute, just pure love. This total stillness and peace. The feeling of sacredness, the feeling of gratitude. All these things are emanating from this consciousness, and they're like perfume from a flower. They just come into you. They're everywhere. You walk through them during your daily life. They start infusing into the daily life. When you walk, you're inhaling love. You're seeing love. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I pray that all of you have this awakening state now. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Larry, for that very beautiful sharing. What all of us heard right now is one of those great enlightened states that the sages and the mystics in the past have experienced. And Larry has experienced that state and he's living in that state for most times of his life. Of course, he has a lot more to share, but this is a glimpse of the enlightened state that you can experience, and this is the ultimate pursuit of a human life. And Sri Preethaji and Sri Krishnaji are leading seekers on this extraordinary journey into enlightened states, and not just experiencing it in your journey or in the course or in the process, but actually living it in your everyday life. And and being an enlightened parent, being an enlightened wealth creator, being an enlightened leader in your society. And right now, Larry is participating in the Ekam Enlightenment Festival, and in the Enlightenment Festival, Sri Preethaji and Sri Krishnaji lead you through 5 classical enlightened states of consciousness, one of which is what you heard Larry share, which is witness consciousness. So thank you so much for that sharing. Namaste, Larry. Let us now move into preparing ourselves for the limitless field with Sri Krishnaji. In a few moments from now, we will be meditating with Sri Krishnaji. Entering the limitless field is entering the field of the divine. It is a field where healing happens to you, miracles happen to you. And today you will receive blessings that will heal your body and your minds and restore your health, protect you and your family members. We request you to put your mobile phones on silence now. And we request you to move into total silence. Do not interact with each other during this time, because only by being in silence can you tune into the limitless field and receive the profound experience it can give you. Kindly sit with your spine erect, either on a chair or on floor, and become still. Rest your hands upon your thighs, palms facing upwards. Let the tips of your index fingers touch the tips of your thumbs. Stay in this posture. Breathe slowly and deeply into your chest. Become fully conscious of your breath. You may have your eyes open now. Gently close your eyes. Bring your palms to your heart in Namaskara Mudra, prayer posture. Connect with the divine or the universe. Ask the divine to bless you so that you receive the immense divine blessings of health that the limitless field will shower upon you. Let us now immerse and repeat the Ekam mantra, Hamsa Soham Ekam. As you chant this mantra, your self expands. You flow into the universal intelligence, and the universal intelligence flows into you. Gently relax your hands. Remain with your eyes closed. Now Shri Krishnaji will be blessing everyone for your bodies to be completely healed and be restored to a state of health and vitality. Bring your attention to the middle of your heart region, your spiritual heart center, and receive the blessings for great immunity to awaken in your body. And you may slowly open your eyes. It was wonderful to connect with all of you from around the world, to nurture the beautiful experiences that you have had in the limitless field, and to continue your growth. Kindly visit us on our Breathing Room app and meditate. On 9th January 2022, you will be led through the Manifest Mystic Journey by Sri Preethaji for manifesting yogic vitality and health. This would be a powerful mystic journey on health and healing. For participants in the eastern part of the globe, Manifest would happen from 6:30 a.m. 10 a.m. India time. For participants from the western part of the world, your manifest would be from 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. India time. Now for all Indian participants, you will have the New Year manifest to access beginning energies. You will have your manifest on January 2nd from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. India time. May the blessings of the Divine be with you. Namaste.
ओंकारं बिन्दु संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः नमन्ति ऋषयो देवा नमन्त्यप्सरसां गणाः नरा नमन्ति देवेशं नकाराय नमो नमः महादेवं महात्मानं महाध्यानं परायणं महापापहरं देवं मकाराय नमो नमः शिवं शान्तं जगन्नाथं लोकानुग्रहकारकं शिवमेकपदं नित्यं शिकार